on to section 1, consent agenda.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I second.
Pat seconded it first. Any discussion whatsoever? All in favor? Oh, wait a second.
You can't do that.
I know I can't. I'm on a different, in the other group that I work with, I do that.
Let's say you do a job, would you?
Sandy Fireman. Go ahead.
Jenkins,
Yes.
Harden,
Yes.
Han,
Yes.
Pearl,
Yes.
motion carries.
I got my groups mixed up. Moving on to section 3.
I make a motion to approve resolution 2013-19, appointing members to the Pharmacy Library Board of Trustees.
I'll second it.
Discussion.
These are the same ones that we've had in the past. Are they all new?
I'm pretty sure Janice Maxwell and Munsell have been on, is that correct?
Yep.
Is Oglesby,
Reappointments.
They're ready.
okay.
This is kind of a side issue with the library. Did we ever get a better budget from the clarification or any sort of conversation with
We
that?
did have a conversation with them. We did have a conversation, and it was pretty much just like the standard budget that they submitted, and they stay within their numbers, so.
Josh, since you kind of got off on that real quick, let me answer that, is that they need a roof. The balloon budget is because if the roof gives way and they have to do something, they said that they had to have it budgeted. That's why it looked larger than what they had been spending over the past 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
And they said they've needed that roof all that length of time, and they keep putting that roof in there because they know that one of these days they absolutely have to put a roof on that building.
Okay.
So that's why it's that way. That is the response that I got.
Okay. Thank you.
Back to the resolution, any questions? Paula?
Harden,
Yes.
Han,
Yes.
Pearl,
Yes.
Jenkins,
Yes.
motion carries.
I'd like to make a motion to accept resolution 2013-20, MFT for 2013.
A second.
Discussion?
This is considerably larger than the last meeting, and that's because obviously Phil Maytone, during the discussion, we had omitted the block. Then when he went back, they found that several of the castings, everything in this town is in dire need of repair when you get looking around. But a lot of the castings for the catch basin, the inlets, some of them are broke, they'll have to be raised. So there's some adjustments that has to be made. That's why the price went up. Also, they're going back into the intersections a little bit farther than what was initially anticipated. If you drive down any of those streets, you know that the side streets going east and west are higher elevation than Plum. So you're there and then you go down on the Plum and you come back up. So they're going to go back, they're going to mill out some of those intersections and get a better blend in. So there's actually considerably more work in this 2002 price tag. And still leaves about 40,000 in the MFT coffers, so we're still not milking the fund dry.
Did that also cover, I believe, was it Plum Street going further north or something? Was that not part of the last meeting?
Yes, yeah, we had omitted a block, so we're going one block farther, and it still has the oil and chip program and then spray patch.
And we spent very little, was it last year on the MFT?
Right. Last year, all we did was we did a little bit of the spray patch.
The year before, we spent quite a bit.
So wasn't here last meeting, but I did watch the video, so I'm trying to remember from that. So this takes us to Van Buren. Is that
That's right. This
Okay.
takes us to Van Buren. You have the semi-traffic on Van Buren. You don't want to do an asphalt overlay and have semis going across it. That's why we are not going north of Van Buren.
Okay.
This will be basically for residential traffic. School buses go up and down through there too. We had gotten some citizens' complaints, and so we've ordered some signs that say no through truck traffic, but we'll go up there after this overlay is put down. But from the intersection Van Buren North, we had earlier discussions with ADM, and actually the plant manager just called the other day when he saw this in the paper, and so that's kind of got that going again about if they're going to be able to do some concrete up there, some concrete work. So concrete's the only thing that's going to hold those semis.
Yeah.
My next question, if they've been advised or be interested in doing anything from Van Buren north or not.
Yeah,
I know we talked about it in the past, but I don't know.
right. So I told them that when they got back with ADM corporate and that started going through the food chain again to let us know, we'd get Phil Maytone back up there to cover our side of what needs to be done for our interest. So it sounds like that'll get kicked up again, especially if we go south, so.
That'd be great.
Any other questions?
Answer my question.
Paul?
Han,
Yes.
Pearl,
Yes,
Jenkins,
Yes.
Harden,
Yes.
motion carried.
And this moves us to section 4, other items, city manager's report.
Just a couple things there. The Ford tractor, I don't know if any of you have been out to the sewage treatment plant. The grass was getting quite high and found out that the Ford tractor sitting out there was in dire need of repair. Don't know if it's got a cracked head or just a blown gasket or what, so it's been taken into the shop to get repaired. With that, the mower deck on that tractor is smaller than the width of the tractor wheels. So depending on the cost of getting that tractor repaired, we're going to look at getting a bigger mower. You can put a 12-foot back wing behind that. That'll cut the mowing down almost in half, not quite. And I'm going to tell you that there's a lot of odd things that seem to be popping up all of a sudden in the sewer department that's broke, needs repaired. So we're going to have some unexpected expenditures this year. It's just the way it seems to be happening. They need a mower out there awfully bad. They're running with a Cub Cadet that was purchased back when Mayor Miller was in here. It's quite old, so we're going to have to look at a commercial residential type mower as well. So on there about the resolution for the MFT program, which I told you about the catch basins. I contacted Western Utility Contractors. They're the ones there in Tolono, Illinois, to do the boring under Salt Creek. There again, he said that he had to get the materials ordered. Usually takes about 2 weeks for materials. After that, then it's a matter of scheduling. He didn't know how busy they were, and they've got offices in different areas. With the heavy rains, it seems that we've lost the lift station again. This seems to be happening quite often. The lift station down here on Center Street has failed with all the heavy rains. It just constantly pumps and pumps. It doesn't know when to shut off. So the guys have worked on that. Tomorrow they're going to pull the motors and see what it's going to take to get those fixed. A couple weeks ago, the lift station up on Depot Road failed. That fell because of an issue with some materials being put in it, coming out of the rest area. We had some sewer damage that we're dealing with, so we filed an insurance claim on that. So, an electrical contractor will be in town this Wednesday. Ellie Myers will be in town to meet with Rick and myself, and we're going to go down West Street and look at an underground electric project there around the old Franklin School building. So,
Any questions of the city manager from his report? Non-agenda items and other business.
you brought up the lift pump down on the west side or east side. How was the weekend with all the rain? Did everything flow good? Have any major?
it was flowing. Yeah, I never really heard of very many complaints. Obviously, the water all came in all at once, but it seemed to have receded pretty fast. I know I got it, and there were catch basins obviously covered up. So, but when the water comes in like that, I mean, it's only going to, go so fast. But we've suffered some damage citywide because of the lift stations. But I haven't heard of very many people that actually had backup into their basements. So, and some people just don't understand. That water is going to go somewhere. When it starts coming up your basement drain, if you don't have a check valve out in your sewer line, it's going to go to the weakest point. So,
Are we going to have a pickup for down limbs and so forth?
I haven't talked to Fred Pat, so I don't know if they're going to do a special one. I don't think that we had very many down, limbs around town from what I saw. We really scaved up pretty lucky on this one because when Ezra called me the night that the sirens flew, we had something coming right at us. So I mean, we got pretty lucky. So,
I do know, across the road from me, they lost half a tree, so this, we gotta cut up the side of the road, so I don't know if anybody else.
well, if they were to call in, it could be such a thing, so it doesn't lay there all month. You know, if they were to call in, I'm sure that the guys would probably go down there and grab it, so.
So we would, I went in and cut it up for them, get them in handleable sizes and all that, so they can handle it, so.
Anything else? Last business meeting, last city council meeting, we did have a council person ask about the ordinance books. Is there any update on that at all?
But
All the ordinances have been sent to the printer, and I've checked with each department, everyone has the codified books that they use.
Okay.
And Larry and I found 5 books here, so when we get the updated ordinances, we'll get you guys a book.
Thank you.
The library has one, we have one, police department has one, light department has one.
we'll be sending a copy to our legal firm as well, so they'll have a copy. So we do ordinance violations.
Very good, thank you. The water tower, when is that? Is that next year we're thinking about washing that thing?
Well, if you see that the basin seemed to have molded back up right away. It was 2 years ago, I believe, when we washed it and painted it. So we just kind of have to keep an eye on it and then, you know, see how it looks in and see if we think it's a priority.
A discussion item for the council real quick. The building on Main Street, we've had this, it was about a year ago that we took possession of a building that was used as a promotion for a local citizen. We redid the face, did a temporary thing, we put a new roof on it as well. Well, we still have the building, and it still has stuff in it. And I wanted to give Larry some direction on at least getting rid of the thing, probably selling it, finding a business to purchase it. Larry did have a suggestion on selling it. That was at a city council meeting, just what we got into it based, not the attorney fees, but what we paid in the back taxes and for the roof.
Right, a couple of months ago, I threw out there that I had been asked about that building and if the city wanted to sell it. And sure, we'd like to get it off the books, just like, you know. And not so much that it's a liability, but any building sitting around empty is a liability. And I told that person at the time that I firmly believe that if we recovered the cost of the new roof that we put on there, and then if we recovered the cost of the back taxes, because legal fees was just part of it, that I thought that the city would sell it. You're not making any money, you're just recovering some of your costs.
You still interested?
That person never got back with me. They never went and looked at the building, but
We could put it out there to start.
if you want, we can put a sign in the window and so let our local realtor know about it. But I believe that that would be firm, or not firm, but fair.
I mean, the other option is making it somewhat usable ourselves and running or something like that, but I don't know that that's something we're interested in. Oh, I know,
Bad shape.
it's in, yeah, that's gonna take.
Well-
So, yeah, I think letting someone else do that. might
There's
be-
a lot of, it would be very time consuming to clean it out. We don't have the personnel right now to do it. Quite frankly, the guys are running around between mowing and trying to keep stuff just basically running. Then we go down there and mess with that building. All good intentions was that it was gonna get done during the winter, but it didn't happen, so.
Spending the money to have it cleaned up, I mean, it would just be, they would just transfer. I mean, if we did that, then
Do they
put
just
that on
want-
top of the price, so you might as well just sell it as it is, and somebody else, either they can pay to have it cleaned up, or they can clean it themselves, and maybe we'll get a better deal on it, so. I believe we need to move forward on that, and see if we can't, you know, it's in the city's best interest if somebody comes in and purchases that, put something in there, so. I say we move forward on it. Very good. There's direction, sell it.
Okay,
Any other non-agenda items on the business? We would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Call it.
Earl,
Yes.
Jenkins,
Yes.
Hardman,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
motion carries.